Okay, so thank you very much for coming to today's Tocharian class. And today is the fifth meeting of the class. So I think before we start, just to give an overview or give a review of what we have done last time or in our previous meetings. Yeah. So last time we talked about first we talk about grammar, of course, and then in this section we talk about Tocharian nouns and Tocharian verbs. And for the nouns, we introduced actually the case endings, right? And we have actually for the two languages quite different sets of endings, right? So, and this semester we concentrate on the A language, and for the A language we have instrumental your, appellative are, and commutative asher, and allative ach, and ablative ush, and locative ang. Yeah, and this is actually all we have. And for the B, we actually have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 cases in common, namely appellative, commutative, allative, ablative, and locative. So the only difference, or the only two differences, are there's no instrumental in Tocharian B, and there's an extra causalis case. Means the reason or the cause, okay, in near. But of course, it does not mean that in Tocharian B we don't have any meaning like instrumental. Well, for instrumental, we very frequently use the appellative, okay, and sometimes, and also for Tocharian A. Of course, we can use other cases to express meaning, of course, okay, reason, like ablative, like in Sanskrit, and also appellative, with, duash, through, something like that. Okay, and then we also check the different classes of the Tocharian nouns. And we can check the Tocharian grammar, Tocharische Elementarbuch. And we have actually several classes. And the first class is actually, how do you say that? The simple one, yeah. So actually we have the same form for nominative and nominative and accusative, well, and for both singular and for plural. Okay, and then same for plural, yeah, right. Okay, and then the plural. The difference between singular and plural is that plural has an extra a at the end, like this one. This is this is a, and then for this one we have a wa. Ost and ostwa. Okay, yeah. But actually, this word ends actually in a u. Yeah, this is actually a u stem. If we check the Sanskrit cognate, yeah, we will know that this word is actually a u stem or tu stem. Yeah, so this wa does not mean that the plural ending is a wa. It's actually a, right? But it looks like a wa. Okay. And then for the second class, we also have the same form for nominative and accusative. Well, but the difference is from this first class lies in the plural form. So for the second class, the plural ends in a na, nasal form. Okay, but again, if we talk about the origins of the word, we know that the word nam, we know the word for name, naman, has a mang stem, so it's a nasal stem. So this is the reason why we have a na here. So just like the wa class, the ostwa, the consonant just goes back to the original stem. Okay, so actually the real plural ending is the r. Okay, and this r goes back to the second laryngeal. Okay, yes. But for this class, we have another case. We have another word which have different forms for singular, for nominative singular and accusative singular. Yeah, it's ashia. This is the word for none. Yeah, okay. Ashia means none. Yeah, okay. And then the third class. Well, the third class, again, first the nominative singular and accusative singular same, but the difference, the ending is enta. Okay, but actually in Austro-Hungarian, so this is in East-Hungarian, we have aunt. Okay, so originally the ending must be a r, but in Austro-Hungarian, the final consonant, the final vowels are really dropped. Okay, so final r, final r are really dropped. Okay, so this is why we find your count, but in West-Hungarian we have your kenta. Okay, they go back to the same form, but due to the different song changes, we have different forms. Okay, and then we have the fourth class. This is a famous kingship class. The word pacha, pacha. So the a and r, this is typical correspondence between Tocharian A and Tocharian B. So they all go back. So there's a song change in Proto-Indo-European, or actually goes back to Tocharian B, A, and Tocharian A, and Tocharian A, R. Okay. And there's another song change, namely the Proto-Indo-European long air. It becomes air with a palatal effect. So I can write it like this, yeah, and then for ta, ya. Okay, ta, ya. And this yeah can cause palatalization, and this is the reason why we have here ch. Okay, so originally the word is quite the word is a pretty famous Indo-European word called parterre, right? It's pretty famous, right? And for the plural, for the singular nominative, we have s. And due to a sound law called Semaheni's law, there's a law called Semaheni's law. There's a I forgot the name. I think should have accent here. I have to check it. So I'm not sure about the. Okay, yeah, that's correct. So Semaheni, yeah, so he's a famous Indo-European linguist. Comes from Ungar, comes from Hungary. Okay, I'm not sure if I have a picture. It's a pity. We can check it if it looks like. I'm not sure. I probably have seen his picture. Yeah, he looks like this. Yeah, so he is So this is Semreni. Yeah. Okay. So he proposed a law. So according to him, this turns into a long A. Yeah. A kind of a compensatory lengthening, right? This is Ersatzdehnung. Yeah. Auf Deutsch heißt das Ersatzdehnung. Okay, and then this is the reason why we have a long A here, and this long A turns into a yeah in Tocharian B, and this yeah causes a palatalization of t. Yeah, so t is palatalized. So sometimes we will use this sign. Okay, sometimes we will use this sign. Yeah, so this is a comma, a quotation mark. Yeah, the right quotation mark, single quotation mark, to designate the palatalization. Yeah, so the t palatalized, and the result is a ch. Okay, and then yeah, so this is the reason why we have pache and pachar. Yeah, but for pater it's different. Yeah, because for pater it's accusative, right? So what is accusative form? Yeah. So for accusative we have this form, right? And this turns into like this one, right? And then again turns into a pater. And this is the reason why we have pater here. Yeah, and then this is a laryngeal here. So it should. So the original form is pater. Yeah, and if the R is stressed, we will write it as a long A in B. Okay, this is the reason why we have pater here. But then Tocharian A has combined the two forms. Yeah. Okay, make it the single form pachar. Okay, so this is the reason why the Tocharian B form is earlier. Pater is earlier. Okay. Okay, and then the next class 5, we have different forms for singular, for nominative and accusative. Yeah, with a nasal here. Here's again with a nasal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And in this class we have several subclasses, but basically you can tell the how to say that the characteristics, namely the N, the nasal, in the accusative forms, right? Okay. And then the 6th class, we have a very important word called lie or li, li and li, state, sorry, city, yeah. Or town, sometimes also means town, yeah. And then the flower word, piapiu, this is also frequently, you will find this word in a lot of texts, piapiu, flowers, yeah. You find a lot of flowers in Buddhist texts, yeah. Okay, and then the word ek, eyes. Okay, and then we talked about this word last time. So this is a very important Indo-European word, Zunge, and it is also related to German word Zunge. Okay, but in Tocharian we actually have several sound changes, right? Like the voiced to voiceless, and then the metathesis. So the position of the consonants are changed. Okay, so actually we first have a dental at the beginning and the velar in the middle. but then the Tocharische changed the position of these two consonants. Yeah, so this is the metathesis. Okay. Okay. And then the last class is also very important one called kin. And there's also upload or the position, the stress, the changes position, and then we find different forms here. And we actually have explained last time. Okay, so this is basically for the nouns, and we will continue talking about nouns, and then we move to verbs. And after the grammar, we go back to the probably go back to the song of historical phonology, which is always important for the understanding of the Tocharische language. Okay, and then after this, we will read some texts, check some words. Yeah, we're not going to read a lot. Yeah. So this is the substantive. Yeah, the verbs. Sorry, the nouns. Okay, and then we can check some adjectives. Yeah. So in Tocharische, we actually have a lot of adjectives ending in she. Okay, this is of course West Tocharische, and then in East Tocharische, it's she. Okay, she, and this is masculine, and this is feminine. Yeah, so they sometimes share the same form. Yeah, and very interestingly, the how to say that. The Tocharische feminine forms are several variants for the adjective, for the accusative, like she or shin or shinang or xiang or shang. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we can actually see the correspondence, like she correspond to she, she. Yeah, shepi and shinap, and so yeah. So actually, I'm not sure if we can memorize them, but look. Well, I mean, they are not quite different. There are not many different forms. For example, for this one, nominatives, accusative are the same. Yeah, she. Only the genitives different, like epi or p. Just remember the p, typical for genitive, and then you have this same p. You have the same per, labial for the East Tocharische. But the difference is that in East Tocharische, there's a nasal, yeah, extended by the nasal, okay? It's also the same here, extended by the nasal. It's actually a quite, how to say that? It's actually a quite widespread development in Tocharische language, that a lot of words, a lot of Semitic words are changed into nasal stems. So the widespread of nasal stems. Yeah. This is a very important development in Tocharische. Yeah. And this happens also in Germanic languages, like in Gothic or Old High German and Old English. Yeah, we all have this widespread of nasal stems. Okay, so this is a very important class of adjectives. Namely B, we have she, and then A, we have she. So this is a very important adjective class. And then the next class is this lia. I will show you. Well, first probably this ce class. This is another class called B, called ce, and A called ce. Okay, so they actually go back to the same class. So we can actually reconstruct them as a pure form, yeah, which is widely attested in I think in Sanskrit, yeah, tia, yeah. In Sanskrit, we also have a lot of tia form, I guess, yeah. You can check the Sanskrit dictionary. There are a lot of tia, like Akritya, Agastya, Chintya, yeah, like there are a lot of Amartya and so on, yeah. There are actually a lot of tia forms. Yeah, wait a minute. I have to stop the sound cleaned. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah. What happened? Wait a minute. I have to. Okay. Yeah, machen wir weiter. Yeah, I have just. I just checked the Sanskrit English dictionary and checked the tia. So you can see that this is a very productive class in Sanskrit as well. It's also the same in Tocharische. So this tse actually goes back to the tio. Okay, and you find it nominative has tse and accusative has the che. So it's again palatalized. Tse is palatalized again to che. Okay, and then for feminine you have ca and cai and so on. Yeah. Okay. And then this is another very productive class. It's lie and le form. Okay. So put it like this. Yes. Yes. So this is a very productive class because this lie and the forms are the typical forms of the gerundives. Yeah. So they are pretty common. Now we use a lot the forms. The gerundive 1 and 2 occur quite frequently in Tocharische languages. Yeah. And you can we can check the different forms, like nominative is the same as accusative, and the genitive is with a p. And for the Tocharische A, we have the typical p also here. Okay, and for plural we have li and lien, and for Tocharische A we have lie and lies. Okay, so this s is a typical form, is a typical ending for accusative plural. Okay, and then for the feminine, we have the alpha. We have r, sorry, not alpha. We have r here and I here, and this is again this r. So as I said, you have to keep in mind in Tocharische, the plural and feminine, they have typical r ending, and this r ending goes back to the Proto-Indo-European second laryngeal. Okay, so this r plural or feminine, yeah, they all go back. R and plural, they all go back to the second laryngeal. Yeah. Okay. And this is this is also the ending in Greek. You have the Greek neuter or Greek feminine, neuter plural, of course, neuter plural and feminine ending in R or eta, or long short or long A, long A, but sometimes it's written as eta, Okay, so this is the reason why we have always RR here, okay, RI here, and this A goes back to the O, okay. So this is Indo-European O stem, and this is turns into Sanskrit R stem. Okay. Yeah, basically we have. So this is basically the I think the most popular 3 classes. Yeah, but of course we have other stems like the rare stem astre, astre, aster. Yeah. Okay. And there's another class, but we don't have a oh yeah, here. So this is also these are 2 important words in Tocharische. The first one is a word for all. So here, so this is a meaning. So po or puk means all. It is of course connected with a Greek word called panta. Okay, yeah, pants or panta. Okay, and then in Tocharische we have po and puk, and in plural we have ponch and pontum, and pontants, and in Tocharische A we have ponchus, but keep in mind this ch is actually the palatal version of t, so they actually go back to the same form, pont, okay. And then another important word is a word for good, okay, but good has a suppletive paradigm. So I'm not sure if anyone, I'm not sure if all of you are familiar with the terminology of suppletion. So suppletion means that you use different stems inside the same paradigm, inside the same paradigm. So you use different. So suppletion means actually you use different stems inside inside a paradigm. Okay, inside a paradigm. So there are there are of course some very famous examples for suppletion, like in English, you have good, but you have you have good, but you have better. Right. So this is already an example of suppletion in English. Okay, for the comparative, and then in Sanskrit, the famous example, han for present called hanti, but for aorist you would use vadit, like vadit, vadish. I'm not sure vadish. Like I have to check it. I'm not sure. Like the aorist of vad is called vadit, 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 avadit, So this is a stem for aorist, but for the stem for present you use han. Okay, they are different stems, but inside the same word for kill or to strike or kill. Okay, and then back to the Tocharische. So we find actually different stems for good. Like in nominative, you have cards, Karze, but you have in accusative, you have klent, and then in all the other forms, like klent, klenchepi, klench, klentum, klentanz, okay? And the same for the Tocharische A form. Like in nominative, you have kasu, and then you have in all the other forms, klant, klanthab, clanch, clanches, and so on, okay? Yeah, so this is kind of special and important word, okay? Okay, and then probably I think we can talk about some song changes. I think this is already enough for the nominal. Yeah, okay. And for the song change, we would use a paper by Olaf Hackstein. Yeah, okay. So it's called The Phonology of Tocharische. It's inside the handbook. I can show you the handbook. So this is in the second volume of the so-called Handbook of Comparative and Historical Indo-European Linguistics. And you find the Tocharische in the second, in the second volume, Tocharische. There are 3 volumes. But I have to say that the quality of the different papers are different. Some, like the one by Hackstein, is kind of beispielhaft. Yeah, it's kind of exemplary good for the beginners and for the advanced learners. Yeah, systematic. Yeah, but some, well, I don't want to name the authors. Yeah, but some are not really friendly, are not systematic, kind of a little bit chaotic. Yeah, okay. So for this. And for this paper, I would really recommend you to read from the first word to the last word. It's really important. Yeah, you have to keep in mind all the important song changes. Yeah, okay. But I will just choose some important. I mean, they're all important, but basically. And basically, they are all important, but I can't explain all of them. I just select the what is for. I just want to select the rules relevant for our courses. Yes. Okay. Probably the first part is about the accent. Yeah. So but this is West Tocharische. I actually talked about this in our previous courses. So we have to distinguish between the phoneme and the written form. So if we have a phoneme A, and if it is stressed, it is written as a long A, okay? But if it is not stressed, it's just written as a simple A. And for another phoneme, if it is stressed, it is written as a. If not, it is written as a. But I think they all they actually reflect the real pronunciation. Like if you stress something and you will pronounce it differently. Yeah. So this is, I think it also makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And then let's move on to the specific rules. Yeah. So first, about the short vowels. So Proto-Indo-European A will turn into Proto-Tocharische or Common Tocharische. So Common Tocharische is actually the stage before A and B. So A and B are 2 different languages, and for the historical linguistics, we can actually reconstruct an earlier stage, a common stage for both languages. And from this common stage, we call it common Tocharische. From common Tocharische came the two languages, A and B. Okay. So Proto-Indo-European, A turns into A in Tocharische, in Proto-Tocharische or common Tocharische. And then this common Tocharische, A become A in B and also A in R. But the writing is if you, as I explained, if it is unstressed, it is written as A. If it is stressed, it is written as long A. Yeah, and in Tocharische A, it is always a long A. Yeah, you write it always a long A. Yeah. So, for example, we have some example, like this word called audio. Audio means another. Okay, and in Tocharische A, it's called alek with a particle k, kind of emphasizing particle. Verstärkungspartikel. Yeah, okay. But A, you have always a long A. Yeah, so adak, like this. Yeah, okay. And then another sound change, the Indo-European A turns into a Y in common Tocharische. And this Y, if it is stressed, is written as ya. But if it is not stressed and it's in open syllable, the is deleted. So this is the reason why we have in R is issa. But in Tocharische B, we have yasa. Okay, and this is also a very common Indo-European word. Yeah, in Greek is ar, in Hittite is esha. Yeah, esha. Okay. And then there's a very important, I think one of the most important sound changes you have to memorize. So namely, the Proto-Indo-European O becomes A in R, becomes A in B, becomes R in R. Yeah, we already mentioned this. So there are some examples, like gongfo or gongbo becomes in Tocharische B keme, but in A it's come. Yeah. So here are some extra changes, like the M and the bh assimilate. So they turn into a simple M. Yeah. And then the O becomes A here. Yeah. Okay. And here's another word. It's a middle participle called hegom, mchno. Okay, and this hegom mchno, the root heg is actually preserved in Greek as ag. Okay, and we know that this is or because we have in we have in Greek or here. Yeah. And this is or, and this or turns into a here. So this is why we have akemane, and in Tocharische A we have akman. Yeah, and this is again deleted. Okay, but here it's preserved a as a. Okay. Okay, so this is there are actually a lot of sound change rules. You can find it here. Yeah, so this is about 30 pages. Yeah. Okay, so another sound change, which is also important concerning the long vowels. So Proto-Indo-European long A, going back to A plus laryngeal 2, turns into a O in Tocharische B, but in Tocharische A it's A. Okay, so there's examples. Yeah. So I think you would memorize them better if you can just memorize some typical examples. Like for this one, I would recommend this example, the Proto-Indo-European word for brother. The Proto-Indo-European brother called Brechter And this black tail with a long A in between, and this long A turns into an O in B, A in R. And then the final ending, as I have explained earlier, we have a long A here, and this long A becomes a ye, or becomes a ye here, becomes a ya here. And this ye can cause palatalization. So it palatalizes this t to a ch. Yeah, so this is basically the logic behind this. So as I said, you just memorize some examples like ploche, plochar, ploche, plachar, and then you would probably understand the song change better. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically the song change. I shouldn't talk too much. It probably makes you feel confused. Yeah. Okay, and now let's probably move on to the reading. Yeah. Okay, so this is actually the fragment. Yeah. As I have shown you, it's a typical POTI form. Namely, you have a format similar to the Indian palm leaf, right? It's a narrow, and you would use a string to bond them together, right? To bind them together. Okay, and I think on the top and at the bottom, you will use the wooden cover. Yeah, wooden covers. Yeah. Okay. But this is not made from palm leaves. It's made from paper. Yeah. Okay. And presumably a paper from China. Okay. Okay. But we don't have the original photo. We only have a photocopy of the original photo. Yeah. And you can see the original photos are burned. Yeah. Okay. And we also talk about the difference between transliteration and transcription. Yeah. Right. And I hope you know the difference between these two terms. Okay. And now let's read the text. Yeah. So here is the translation, the English translation. But pay attention, the English translation are sometimes not really accurate. It's actually based on the German translation. So you can see, I'm not sure if he write it, put it, yeah, you can see. So the translation is largely based on Zeke 1944 and Carlin 2009. Okay, so Carlin 2009 is a dictionary project. So for the Zeke Ziegling, I can show you. So this is original. So this is the origin of the English translation in Ceton, yeah, in Keton, called Übersetzung aus dem Tocharisch 1 by Emil Zeke. Yeah, so it's published in Berlin. It's published in Berlin in 1944. Yeah, so, there are actually two volumes. Yeah, this is the first one. Okay, and we can check it. Yeah. Yeah, so this is actually the beginning. We read from the very beginning. Yeah. So as I have explained, this text is called Punyavanta Jataka. Yeah. So probably we can talk about this Jataka first. Yeah. Okay. So Jataka, of course, you know, and Punyavanta comes from the word punya. So punya we usually translate as virtue. Yeah. In German, it's called Verdienst, or sometimes you can translate as Tugend. Okay. So, and Punyavanta is actually the name of a princess. Sorry, the name of a prince. So this is a story about princes. There are 5 princes, and Punyavanta is one of them. Okay, so it's kind of a how do you say that? Just like typical in Buddhist stories, the stories are used always to tell, to teach the Buddhist doctrines. So just like in this one. So Punyavanta, so his name, of course, has some meaning. Yeah, this it's not a random name. So he's called Punyavanta because in this story, the Buddha, we're of course not sure if the story was told originally by the Buddha, but at least in our text, the Buddha was mentioned at the end as a narrator of the story. Okay, so the Buddha tells the story of Punyavanta because he want to stress the importance of punya, the virtue, and then the other figures they have their names. I'm not sure if we have the information here. If not, we can check the other books. Okay, so here we have another translation. So it's a French translation by Georges Pinot. So he gave a very brief introduction to this story. So actually, in this Jataka, we actually have 5 figures. The first one is called Lupavan. The second one is called Viryavan. The third one, Sherpavan. The fourth one, Prajnavan, and then at last, Punyavan. Okay, but we always say that last but not least. Actually, Punyavan was praised, was mentioned at the end, but he's actually the most important one. Yeah, and so Lupavan comes from Lupa. Lupa means beauty or the beautiful form. And Virya actually means the manliness, the strength, the kraft. Yeah, okay. So force virile or energy. But energy is actually not a very good translation of the word. Okay, and then the third one is called Sherpa. Sherpa actually means his skills. Okay, kind of practical skills, so he can produce fancy things. He can produce some good artifacts and so on. And then Prajna means wisdom. Okay, and Punya, as I said, it means virtue. Okay, and of course you have the Tocharian correspondence, Tocharian counterparts. So for first one, Lupa in Tocharian, it's called Kapertune. Okay, so this is always tune, mune. So they are basically the abstract nouns in une. So une is a suffix in Tocharian a, meaning abstract nouns. Okay, and then the second one is called tsrashune. Tsrashune. And tsrashi means strong. Okay, and then Shirpa in Tocharian A, it's called amok. Okay, but amok is actually a loan word. It's not a local. It's not a native Tocharian word. It's borrowed from Middle Iranian. And then Prajna is called knyamne. Yeah, knyamne. Knya is actually cognate with Sanskrit word gnya, or Latin gnosko, or Greek gnosko. Yeah, Latin. Yeah, it's called gnatus, or yeah, it's a typical it's typical Indo-European word to know. Yeah. And then punya, pni, it's a Sanskrit loan word. Pni, okay. So this is basically the story about these 5 figures, 5 princes. Yeah, and then each will tell a story to prove that their own quality is the best. Okay, so this is the reason we have the beginning is called the gute Ruf, the energisch. Well, the translation energisch, as I said, is not really suitable. Actually, means strong. Yeah, kräftiger. Yeah. Okay. So we actually start. So our text actually starts with a story by Viryavan. Yeah. So because we actually it's numbered first fragment, but we don't have the previous folios. So our text is actually fragmentary. We only have the how to say that the incomplete version of the Jataka. Okay. Yes. So this is kind of basic information. And for the text, we can actually use, there are actually a lot of use for manuals or papers or books to use. Okay. As I have mentioned, we have the translation by Zeke, right? So it's 1944. And before this, we need to use a text edition. The text edition is made by Zygmunt Ziegling. It's in this book. We actually introduced this volume at during the first meeting. It's called Tocharische Sprachrecht. It's published in 1921, yeah, by Zygmunt Ziegling. So actually, for the text edition, yeah. So for the text edition, we use Zygmunt Ziegling, right? 1921. Okay, and then for the translation, we can use several. First one, one of the most important one is of course Zeke 1944, and the second one is actually Lane 1948, 47. Sorry, 1947. You find it here. Yeah. Wait a minute. So Lane. Yes. So Lane 1947 is published in journal JOS, Journal of the American Oriental Society. It's called Tukarim Punyavanta Jataka. Yeah, we can check it. Yeah. Yeah. So, but actually, you can. So he also mentions that his English translation is actually largely based on the translation by Zeke. If we can search it. Yeah. I'm not sure if he mentioned it clearly. Yes, so actually he based his translation on the German translation by Zeke. And you can see, so on the left side is a Tocharian text, and on the right side is a facing English translation. Okay, so actually in the footnotes, he always referred to the translation by Zeke. So he would say Zeke translates something like something, and then Zeke translated something like something, and so on. Yeah, so it's basically based on the translation by Zeke. Okay, of course he will add some explanations. Yeah, and to especially on some difficult passages. Yeah, we will see. We'll see it later. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically the translation by Lane, and then we have another French translation, which is pretty recent. It's by Pinot. I have actually already shown you the book by Pinot. So this is this book. It's called Chrestomathie Troarienne, Text and Grammar. Oh, sorry, I just missed your notice. So Mr. Bach, you mentioned Vis and Roboris. Is it something you want to comment on the suppletive? Okay. Yes, of course, we have in Latin a lot of, yeah. Well, it's like in Latin, you have the fero, right? Yeah. You have in Latin fero, and you have in Latin, yeah, latus and, yeah, latus, fero. You have in Latin to carry, tuli, yeah, sorry, yeah, thank you, yeah. You have in Latin fere, tuli, and latus, yeah. Well, tuli and latus actually go back to the same form, yeah. So actually, latus actually go back to tratus, yeah. But this t just was dropped, okay. But fere, fero, and tuli, they are pretty different, yeah. They are quite different forms, yeah. So it's again the suppletion, yeah. Well, actually, in Greek, you also have the same. You also have the same suppletion for fero, yeah. So fero is actually present, and you have aorist or perfect, yeah. Because in Latin, this is actually perfect, yeah. Okay, and in Greek we have aorist. So in Greek we have enenka, yeah. So yeah, we have in Greek eneka for aorist, and for present we have fellow. So this is completely different forms, and even strangely, we have for future another different another different. It's for future, yeah. So it looks like the word for carry means something special for the Indo-European people, yeah. And if you check Tocharische, it's again the same. In Tocharische, I can show you the special case in Tocharische. So in Tocharische, if you check the word for carry, you find it. Yes, I can show you. So there's a chapter about the suppletive paradigma in Tocharische. So in Tocharische, the word, the roots for carry, it's called per, right? So sorry. So per is actually cognate with Latin fero, and cognate with Greek fero, of course. And in Tocharische, it's called per, right? Yeah. And as I have explained, in Tocharische, there's a special sound change, like the voiced turns into voiceless. So this is the reason why and aspiration, of course, aspiration lost. So fair turns into per, and is a question, and this is this yeah, okay, per, yeah. And then for Tocharische, this is the present. Okay, this is present. In Latin, it's also the present, right? Yeah, so this is present, and this is perfect. This is perfect. Okay. Okay. And then this is a participle. Yeah. Okay. And then in Tocharische, per is present, but for subjunctive. So this is really something weird. For subjunctive, they would use a root called as. This is subjunctive. Okay, and then again for the aorist, but aorist is called preterite in Tocharische. It's called preterite, but actually it's aorist. Yeah. Okay. And just like actually just like in Latin, so the Latin perfect, some of the Latin perfects go back to aorist. Okay. So you will see that it looks like the carry word in Indo-European languages means something special. It's special meaning for the Romans, for the Greeks, and also for the Tocharians. Yeah, they all have suppletion. Yeah. This is really an interesting phenomenon. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's move back to the text. Well, as I have explained, so for the translation, we also have the translation by Pinot. It's 2008, and we can check the translation by Pinot. So actually, so he, of course, he translated into French. Okay, yeah. So he introduced some important papers and books. Yeah, for example, the paper by Ji Xianling called "Parallel Versions" to the Tocharian version of the Punya-Wanta Jataka in CDMG, Zeitschrift der Deutsche Morgenländische Gesellschaft. Okay, and then he gives yeah, okay, I missed it. Yeah, so the first, yeah, so you can see, so here's actually the format. So he would write the Tocharian sentence and then put the corresponding French translation below the words. So actually, kasu means bon, and nyong klu means hnon, and then tsa shi shi is actually genitive plural of the strong ones. Yeah. So in French is des énergiques. Yeah, and then chaque means 10, so this, yeah, and then kyme means direction, yeah, Richtung, so direction, and then untuang is actually untu is plural ending, so he put a s here to mean that it's plural, and this is locative ending, so he put a dan, yeah, okay. Of course, this is not a this is not a correct French translation. So this is not a correct French sentence. So then he put it into the normal French meaning. the normal French sentence. Yeah. So la bonne renommée des énergiques se répand. So répand corresponds to third quarter. So third quarter means to spread. Se répand dans les directions. Yeah. Direction. Yeah. So yeah. So like the good fame of the strong ones spread itself in 10 directions. Yeah. So this, and then he explained the words. If there's a secure etymology, he would also explain it in detail. Okay. Yes, like this one. Yeah, like this one. The word nyom, like this is a word for names, niem and nyom. So we have a good Indo-European etymology, although there are some disputes concerning the umlaut, the first sound. Yeah, but this word clear wash means fame, or yeah, fame, whom. Yeah, in German it's whom. Yeah, it's pretty certain. Yeah, okay. And then he explains a little bit about the song change, yeah, and so on. Yeah, so he also mentions Sanskrit correspondence. So Sanskrit shavas corresponding to the Tocharische word klio, yeah, kliu, yeah, kliu here, yeah, and so on. So this is basically the book, the translation, the commentated translation by Pinot, yeah, which is pretty useful. Okay, and then for some parts, we need to use. We need to check out the papers, yeah, and we will introduce the papers during our reading. Yeah, okay. So I think basically this is the important things we need to know. And about the dictionaries, I think I'm not sure if I have talked about the dictionaries, but I can mention it briefly. So for the Tocharische A dictionary, we actually do not have a very updated one. So the complete one, the complete Tocharische A dictionary is made by Pavel Pauha in 1955, but it's written in Latin. Yeah, so it's called Thesaurus Linguae Tocharicae Dialecti A. So actually, he explained the words in Latin. Yeah. So you need to know a little bit Latin. Yeah, and then an English one is made by Carlin, but it's not. I mean, it's finished, but not published. Yeah, published is only the first volume. Yeah, it's called Dictionary Thesaurus Tocharische A, Volume 1, A and J. Yeah. Well, the whole dictionary is actually finished, but they still kind of dealing with the publishing affairs with the publisher, because they want to make it public. I mean, they want to make it how to say that, open access, but the publisher is not happy with this idea, because if you make it open access, how can they make money? Yeah, so they will charge quite a lot for open access to compensate for the loss. So kind of, for example, one like one copy costs like €50, and they will calculate like this book is kind of quite academic, and there are not many buyers. So, for example, for €50, we will send like 200 copies. No, 200 is pretty too not enough. Like one copy, it's about 50 euros, right? And then they would assume that probably for this book we can sell like 400 copies, like inside during the whole time, yeah, right? And then so they would charge like 20,000 for open access, yeah, for open access, yeah. So it's pretty a lot. It's pretty a lot of money, right? Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's a lot of money, right? 20,000 for a single book, yeah, for open access book, yeah, yeah. So this is the reason why they are still dealing with a publisher. Okay. And then another book, but it's not updated, but very useful for us. It's actually the Tocharische and Meta book, second volume. It contains a glossary. Yeah. So this is basically what we should use for translation. Yeah. Okay. So we can, of course, use the previous translations, and then we can use the dictionaries, the glossaries, yeah, and so on. Okay. So this is basically the key information we need for this text. So I think we can start reading. And as I said, we can use a book by Pinot for reference. Yeah, because he offers some important linguistic explanations. Yeah, but we can check it later. Yeah. So we first read the sentence. I think I have already read it once. Yeah, but I can read it again. Yeah. So kasu nyom kru tsasi shi shuk kurt mentuan sut kater yuk inanimune nam poto tsa shu neya pkash kupnar. Okay, stop. And then yuknar imaruk yaslu chens kupnar imaruk yatlune. Okay, so this is the first verse. Probably we can stop here and we can translate. So the first word, kasu, means good. The second one, nyom, means the name. And klu means the fame. So the name and the fame. Okay, so you can translate it as reputation like this. And then tsasishi is genitive plural, so strong ones. So the good fame, the good reputation of the strong ones. Okay, shuk kali mentuan sut carter. So as I have explained, sut carter means to spread. So spread in 10 directions. Yeah. Okay. So this is pretty obvious. And then the second one, yuk actually means respect, and inanimune means kind of appreciation or cherishing, cherishment, cherish, yeah. Okay, and nam means bowing down, so comes from the word for bow, beugen, sich beugen, yeah. Okay, it's also kind of respect. Okay, and poto means praise. Okay, and slashu neya is the appellative singular of tsashune. As I have explained, une is actually abstract suffix, abstract suffix. Yeah, so strong, strongness or manliness, kind of energy. Well, energy, well, as I said, energy is actually not suitable. So strength, you can put it as strength. Or in German, it's Kraft. Okay, and then Kirsch is actually ablative singular from puk, and puk means all. Okay, so Kerpnar comes from the word kerp. Kerp actually means to obtain. Okay, so he can, so he will obtain. So he will certainly obtain from everyone honor or respect or reverence, cherishing or the appreciation, and then respect and also praise due to or through or by or due to his strengths, through his strengths. Okay. And then Yuknar, Imark. Imark means quickly. So Yuknar means conquer, overcome, yeah, to defeat. And then so he will certainly defeat the enemies, Yesluchens. So here is a plural accusative. Okay, and then Kerpnar is again to obtain, so he will obtain quickly the ability. So Yatlune is again abstract noun, means ability. Yeah, but here he translate as prosperity. Yeah, but we can check it. Yeah, we can check it. Yatlune comes from the root yat. Okay, so Yatlune comes from the word fähig, capable. Yeah, okay, and it's the same. It's the same in A. So it actually means capability. Yeah, so he obtains capability, ability like this. Okay, Fähigkeit. And then probably we can analyze a little bit. I think the castle is probably not suitable for now, but we can talk about the word shook or nyom plu. I think we also talk about. Probably we can check. Wait a minute. So it's cognate with a Sanskrit word called shru. Yeah. So Sanskrit word shraf, yeah, is cognate with Tocharische word called clue. Yeah. Okay. So clue, yeah, and this is Sanskrit word. They are connected. Yeah. Yeah, you find it shru, or you can also write it like shlaf. Okay, so they are basically the same. Okay, yeah. So what happened? What happened here? Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty detailed explanation. So actually, for the Proto-Indo-European form of this root, you can check it here. So they come from the Indo-European Kleo, right? Yeah. So write it like this. Kleo, yeah. So Kleo, of course, means to hear, right? Okay. So what happened here? Yeah. So we have originally clear, right? But in Sanskrit, we have shru or shlav, right? Okay, in Sanskrit, we have shru, but originally we have clear. So this is the reason. But in Tocharische, we have clear, right? Yeah. So this is a reason why Tocharische is a Canton language. But Sanskrit is a Saturn language, yeah, because originally we have a palatal velar. It becomes normal velar in Tocharian A. So this is canton, just like in Latin. Yeah. So in Latin is also a canton language, but in Sanskrit we have sh. Is a sibilant. So this is a Saturn language. Yeah. The division of Saturn and Saturn is based on the development of the palatal velar. Okay. And then another detail, the L. Originally we have L, but in Sanskrit we have a. So this is also a typical sound change in Sanskrit, but also in Iranian languages, like Proto-Indo-European, and the L turns into R in Sanskrit. Okay, but it is preserved in Tocharian. Yeah. Okay. So this is basically what you need to know now. Okay. Yeah. Clio. Connected with Sanskrit, cognate with Sanskrit, shlav. Okay, and then probably we still have 2 minutes. So shuk is cognate with Sanskrit word dasha. So the Sanskrit word is called dasha. This means 10, but in Tocharian we have shuk, right? Shuk. But how can we connect them? It looks so different, right? At the first, so shuk means 10 and 10 directions, yeah? Okay, but Sanskrit, we have dasha, so it looks so different, right? Dasha. So how can we expand this? Because they all go back to the Proto-Indo-European. They all go back to the Proto-Indo-European Deccan, yeah. Yeah. So this k is again a palatal vowel, a palatal consonant. Yeah. So this is a palatal, okay? And this is the reason why we have in Sanskrit sh, but in Tocharian a k. So it's just the same development here. Yeah. So you have in Sanskrit sh, but in Tocharian k. So again, this k and sh, this is a good correspondence. Okay, and then comes the umlaut, the first consonant. In Sanskrit, it's a d. It's like in Proto-Indo-European, right? D. But why we have a sh here? Okay, because this is actually a special sound change in Tocharian. So in Tocharian, the first, so I put it PIE here. Yeah, so it's better. So it's PIE, right? PIE. So in this special sound change, so Proto-Indo-European the first turns into ts in Tocharian, okay? And then this ts can be palatalized. So the ts can be palatalized and it turns into a sh. Yeah. So sh is actually the palatal version of ts, okay? So you can find the explanation in Hackstein. So I can show you here. So in the paper by Hackstein, you find it like here. Yeah. So Proto-Indo-European d before vowel becomes ts in Tocharian, and then with palatalized version, it is a sh. Yeah. So this is actually the development. Okay. Yeah. And we have like Deccan to shook or shuck. Yeah. Shucking B and shucking A. Yeah. So this is, yeah. Okay, so this is everything for today, and thank you very much for your attention. Yeah. And before we stop, I just make a very short notice. Because due to the corona pandemic, our Christmas holiday begins already. The Christmas holiday starts. So Christmas holiday begins on 19 December. Okay. Yeah. So the so according to our plan, we have a meeting on 21st of December, and we don't have it now. Yeah. So for this year, we have still 2 meetings. Yeah. So the next week and the week after one. Yeah. So after so next Woche und next Woche. Yeah. Okay. So 7th December and 14th December for this year. And after that, we will meet on the 11th of January. Okay. So there's no class on 21st December. Okay. This is a short notice. Yeah. So there's no class on 21st December. Okay. Okay, so this is everything for today. And thank you very much again for your attention. And we will see each other next week on the 7th of December. Okay. Okay. You're welcome. Yeah. Sehr gerne. Okay, wir sehen uns nächste Woche. Wiedersehen. Ja. Bleiben Sie gesund. Keep healthy. Ja. Bleiben Sie gesund. Okay, wir sehen uns nächste Woche. Okay, Wiedersehen.